What's up everybody, Raul back with another video. I want to make another prop for my yard. I know it may seem like there's already a lot there, but one more will not hurt. Today I'm going to be making a chopped body prop. So the idea here is his legs got cut off and his whole body got cut off. And that's all that's going to be left. So these are a few things I will be using. I may not use them all, but this is what we got. Expanding foam, some black, some browns, some red, a bag of bones, PVC, some plastic bottles, and of course, some leftover pans. So with that, let's get started. I saw a couple of things online and in person that gave me a couple of ideas that I want to make a little twist to. Now, I've seen some bodies that have been chopped up, but there's really no detail to them. So that's where these bag of bones are going to come in and make it just a little bit more spooky. So you guys are basically following me along as I'm building this because, again, I don't have this planned. I'm just going to go along with it and let's see how it turns out, everybody. So let's get started. Alright everybody, so the way we're going to start this is basically what I want to do is cut it here and then maybe use a razor blade to rip this up and then open this section up here to expose the bone. So what I'm going to do first is basically prop it up to see how I exactly want it. So let's get the bones. So the plan here is a bone here, a bone here, and then we're going to have him sitting up. So I'm going to want to use a spine bone sticking out. And then use these bones, maybe have sticking out here and here, just to add more bones up here, you know, because he's not human, or maybe he is. So something like that. And then what we'll do is we'll expose this bottom section here, we'll rip this up here, have the bones showing here, and then put foam in here and maybe cut that up so that way it can look a little bit more realistic there. So let me get started with that and then I'll start recording so I can show you guys where I'm at so far with that. So let me start cutting all this up. So let's get to it. Alright, so we want to pose this guy or kid, because these are kid pants, sitting up. So I have some of these PVCs left over, and like I said, they're just left over. I may or may not cut them. What we're going to want to do here is get them in a sitting position. So what we're going to have to do here, I'm going to have to go get more PVC, but basically I'll probably have this up here and attach this here with the bone. So maybe a little piece, or maybe I won't even use this. I'll use this to cut, and then I'll attach this with the foam. And then what I'll do here is put a piece here, bend the legs out, have the legs. So let me go get my saw and then cut some pieces up, and then let's get him sitting down. Alright everybody, so we have basically the legs. Now the only thing to do is to slip this in And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach to this using the foam, and then we'll have some foam around here, and then we'll touch it up so it looks a little bit more realistic sticking out. We'll spray all the foam in here, and then we'll slip this in there, and then we'll go ahead and start touching up all the painting and everything just to get it more realistic. But right now I'm gonna work on the pants, and then we'll go ahead and start inserting the bones and making this look a little bit more realistic here. Okay, so next up here is, before I start cutting everything up, I'm gonna slip the piping in and see exactly where the bones are gonna be so I could do the cutting. So I'll do this here. Okay. And then he's gonna be sitting up like so. So the pipe goes up here. So we'll use a piece of PVC just to as the spine. That's what it'll look like. Okay, so he's going to be seated like this. We're going to use these plastic bottles. Doesn't matter what they are, I just told you I might need these. And I'm just putting these in here just to basically give it some form. I'm going to take them out, but just so I can better work with how he's going to be sitting. And then I have these from another project. These are basically 2 liters cut in half. So I'll use maybe 4 of those just to give the legs some form here. Run out of footage before I even finish this project. Alright everybody, let me get some other scissors. I'll be right back. These suck. Or should I say, these ain't cutting it. Alright everybody, now that you got all the pants sprayed, I turned them inside out to spray the inside just in case some of it shows, which it won't because I'll be putting the foam in there. And then what I did was I basically did the same thing for the back, even though it's not going to show. I just want to give it a little bit dirty look. And then what I went ahead and already did was sprayed a little bit of mist of red on the top, because that's basically where all the blood's going to be. And then I'll touch all this up after. But the main thing was I wanted to just get the top here. So the next step is I'm going to start building the inside. Start spraying it with foam. I'm going to let it dry and then start painting. Alright everybody, a couple minutes went by. This is semi-dry. Keep in mind that it still expands while drying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the legs so then I can get to the painting. So let's get started with that. The bones are pretty much intact, so let's start spraying the inside of the legs. What's up everybody? So really quick, my battery died on the GoPro, so I'm going ahead and charging it. But what I'm doing here is it's pretty much almost dry. Not really, it's still going to expand a little bit more. But what I did was I masked up all the bones that I don't want painted, and then I'm basically going to give this a coat of black, and then I'm going to hit it with the Regal Red, and I'm going to not want to touch any of the pants either. And then from there, I'll peel that off, and then I'll touch the bones up with the brown, sponge it on, so that way they stand out. So let's get to it and stay tuned. Alright everybody, GoPro camera's still dead, but I just want to show you guys a little update. So I went under with the black, and then I went over with the red. Got the rag, kind of tapped it around just to give it like a different little effect there, so the black comes out. But there you have it, almost done. The next thing to do is to start dressing up the bones. Dressing up the bones. And yeah, and then this prop will be complete. Stay tuned. So now that I took off all the tape here, what I'm doing is basically I got a used brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the little details on the inside. So the way I'm going to do that is I just spray a little bit of paint here, and then dab the brush, and then basically just start getting where the foam is, because now it's going to start looking like, you know, muscles. Because the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to paint the bones, because if you paint the bones, then it's just going to look like too much. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to paint it with a little bit of brown, just to give the bones some, you know, some color, I guess. And then what I also did up here is I put some of the foam on top of the spine, just to make it look like, you know, meat or whatever you want to call it. Just, you know, more detail. And then what I'll do right now is I'll spray the can and then let it just drip down. But that's all. That's pretty much it. So now you can see inside. I was able to get it after I masked it up, and you can still see the bones. So once you lay this over and it has a light on it, it's gonna look a lot better. That's what I mean. You don't want to be coloring it all red or just spray in there, because then you take away from being able to see the bones in there. All right everybody, let's continue. All right everybody, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you real quick what I'm gonna do with the brown. So I'm gonna do the same thing, same brush, it's not a big deal. And then we're gonna go in there and just go like that. And then I'm gonna get the cloth, clean cloth, and just rub it away, because you don't want it dark, but you want to give it some color. So see, there you go. Now let me go right here down to this bone. Let me show you really quick. Get some brown. Paint it all over. And then just get the rag. And then same thing. Just rub it away. Just rub it. Just rub that bone. See that? See that? And then if you want to get even more detailed here, look at. I'm gonna put some happy trees. So we're gonna put some red here. She's gonna brush, and we won't rub that. And then put some right here where it's kind of white. Let's mix some more red. There you go, everybody. Check that out. So I'm going to continue with the rest of the bones. I'm going to detail this up here. And then what I'll do is I'll spray the spray the red, let it drip down a little bit. And then that'll complete the prop. All right, everybody. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about this build, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you have. There you have it. This guy had a bad day. All right, everybody. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Wait.